federal government has decided that they will not appeal a federal judge's decision to make Plan B contraception available to girls of all ages without a prescription. Now, of course, back in 2011, there was this huge drama about how the White House wanted to make sure that girls under the age of 17 had a prescription prior to getting emergency contraception. But that's an issue because it's only effective for 72 hours. If you're under the age of 17, it's really difficult to get the prescription. So it would really serve as a block to all girls who really need it to prevent pregnancy.
So a couple of things here. If you take it within 72 hours, 89% of the time, it prevents a pregnancy. By the way, it doesn't end a pregnancy. It prevents a pregnancy.
Right.
And it does so 89% of the time when you take it 72 hours. But if you take it within the first 24 hours, it's the most effective. So that's why having to get a prescription is an enormous issue in this case specifically, because you got to take it right away. And the longer you wait, the less effective it is. So that's what the scientists, by the way, had said in the Obama administration, and they said, and it's safe, and it should be allowed for any age. And then Kathleen Sebelius, who was the Department of course, the Health and Human Services, she's the secretary of that, came in and overruled her scientists. So Obama administration, way to be just like the Bush administration. I mean, I can't. Like, of all the things that Obama has done in the footsteps of Bush, overruling your own scientists, like, what's wrong with you?
I know, it doesn't make sense. And of course, I think that it was Obama's effort to seem moderate, because they continuously made the argument that this is unsafe for girls. Oh, it's the hormones, it's not good for them. But the scientists indicated this is not going to impact their health in a negative way. You know what could impact their health in a negative way? If they get pregnant at like 15 or 14. It'll not only impact their health in a negative way, but their lives. So
yeah, and by the way, just so you know, it wasn't just Sebelius. Obama came out and publicly supported her in 2011, said she made the right decision. So it's definitely Obama. So then I love this judge, U.S. District Judge Edward Corman. He comes in and regulates. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, no, not buying it. Okay, you need to make this available to all women. And so now when he says that, Obama administration flips out. They're like, appeal, appeal, appeal. No, we've got it. It's not just that they're fighting for the old Bush administration policies. They're aggressively fighting for it. Like, we're going to appeal, we're going to spend more money, more energy trying to defend the conservative position. And, you know, finally, not finally, but in one other step, is they do what was called Plan B one step. After the court case is decided in the first round, the Obama administration goes back and says, okay. All right, I hear you, dog. I hear you. Okay, you really hated this. And he says, okay, so what we'll do is say, all right, for people above 15, girls above 15, that's okay. But under 15, and we're going to make them change the pill a little bit and change the dosage. And instead of taking 2, you take 1, or instead of taking 1, you take 2. Some sort of magic Houdini, like, oh yeah, now it's better, right? The moderate position. Corman comes back and says, I will not give you an injunction, because they wanted an injunction on his decision so that they could go back to the old way of doing things. And your hocus pocus with the Plan B one step is nonsense. He calls it, literally, he says it's nonsensical rules. It's meant to sugarcoat the government's appeal. In other words, not buying it, denied. And now finally, the Obama administration gives up and says, okay, you win.
It's one of those rare instances where a system of checks and balances actually worked. You have a federal judge saying, no, you know, what you are trying to do here is clearly political. I'm not buying it. And he went ahead and, you know, made sure that his ruling stood. And I like that the White House dropped the appeal. I'm glad that they're not going to do the appeal, because it's a waste of resources, right? And why waste your time with that? And I think the reason why Obama decided to give up on that is because he's already in the middle of so much controversy.
Yeah.
I mean, why take up another fight where you're clearly, you know, violating people's reproductive rights?
And I'm going to get to that in 1 second. Let me read one last quote here, because Annie Tumino, who's one of the lead plaintiffs in the lawsuit, in fact, the lead plaintiff, she's also the coordinator for the National Women's Liberation, and she wrote, look, it's about time that the administration stopped opposing women having access to safe and effective birth control. So to understand, it's not just us, it's not our interpretation, it's the women's rights groups who are saying he was blocking our access to our rights, to our birth control, etc., and it was totally needless. So finally, Obama might have gotten what Dick Armey's been talking about. Now, Dick Armey recently said this about Chris Christie. Now, they're both Republicans, but I think it is one of the most telling quotes, and this is what Obama has not gotten for the last 5 years. We hope he's beginning to get it. He said, quote, "The first rule of politics is don't lose friends you already have for the friends you're never going to get."
That is a great quote. That
First
is a great quote.
rule of politics.
Yeah.
And apparently Obama skipped class on the first day because he missed that rule. And finally, after appeals and overruling scientists and all the wrong rulings and efforts, finally Obama goes, hey, maybe I should stop slapping my friends in the face. And it's not like, I mean, what did you think? Did you think you were going to get right-wing evangelical Christian activists to support Obama? Is that what you thought? Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So let's hope he's beginning to come to his senses a little bit. And part of it might be what you were alluding to, Anna. He's lost so many allies on so many issues that he might be looking around going, hey, you got my back, right? Wait, where did everybody go?